Welcome, my name is Mike, and today we're going to show you how to work with calculated fields. This is episode 19, calculated fields. We have videos uploaded weekly, so you are curious about other videos that we have. It's available on our YouTube channel, and I'll show you that at the end of uh, the cast there. Um, Again, today we'll be covering calculated fields. What I'll show you um, is formatting of calculated fields. I'll also show you how to utilize calculated fields for longitudinal projects using calculated fields in branch logic, and maybe a little bit of data quality utilization for calculated fields for those who export or do reports for calculated fields. And I'll talk about that more in detail later. First, what we're looking at is calculated fields FAQ. Um, the FAQ page on REDCap is actually very helpful for anyone who's using calculated fields. The reason for that is that it gives you a lot, or actually all the rules that's pertaining to calculated fields and how to utilize it properly. As you can see, what are calculated fields? That's the first question. They're basically field types in REDCap that can actually do some calculations. So let's just say if you wanted to add 1 plus 2, you could do that and it will display that data. And again, I'll show you that in a second here, but just want to go just a little bit about the FAQ here. A lot of good information, very helpful information. A lot of questions obviously here. First question, then formatting of calculated fields is what I'll be concentrating on. As you can see, it's just telling you that you need brackets around the calculated fields variable in order for it to work properly. And so on, for example, calculating the BMI of certain instruments, etc., or including it in your instruments and how to do that, etc. It's very important to be able to, I guess, understand the capabilities of calculated fields for you to use it properly. So again, this FAQ page shows you a lot of the information you need in order to properly use it. For example, you want to take the difference of two dates. You can use this dateDiff function. So this goes into my next topic for calculated fields is the calculated fields functions. Functions are valuable because you don't have to, let's say you want to add to a sum of it. REDCap already has a sum function that you can utilize. For example, a lot of the math related stuff is available here. These are called functions here in REDCap. dateDiff, round up, round down, absolute, min, max, mean, etc. And for example, sum. So basically you just type down sum and you add just two parameters. Well, parameter with two values here, number one and then the second one. So basically you put two numbers together and that's how the function works. So, and some other information as well, but let's go ahead and dive into REDCap, and so that I can show you how to use calculated fields. So I have a test project here, and this test project is the basic REDCap project. You can just create one yourself, but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and dive into just calculate fields itself. So as you can see, we're in the form, and I'm going to go and add a new field here called calculated fields. This right here is an option in our field type here. So if you want to calculate something, let's just say you wanted to add some numbers or whatever. So click and choose calculate fields, and we're going to just go test sum. We need a variable, it's going to be test calc. Oh, we have that already because I did that earlier. All right, so let's just say for very, very simple calculated field usage would be adding a number. You could just do 1 plus 2 and save. And so let's go ahead and remove this first one. If we go back and test this field that we just added utilizing calculated fields, let's see what it looks like here. So I'll test some. As you can see, the output is 3, and we can also click on the view to see what the calculation is. So the calculation is 1 plus 2, obviously going to be 3. So let's go ahead and modify it again, just to change it up a little bit. All right, so again, calculated fields, what we want to do is maybe make it more useful, or actually utilize the functions that's available to calculated fields. Let's use the sum function. So we just type sum and whatever the parameter requires. Okay, so that's summing two values. Let's see what happens here. Go back to test. Always test your calculated fields, because a lot of times you want to make it work properly, so you want to test, and testing is important for any projects if you want to get it correctly to work properly. Again, value is 3. Obviously we expected that. So let's view calculations. As you see, the sum, and you could do this with other functions as well, as I pointed out earlier here. With all these functions, you can get very complicated outputs and whatnot, or you can make your function very complicated. You can write your own function if you want to as well. So this is here. All right, let's go back to the form here. And so that's basically a very simple way of using calculated fields here. You can calculate the age of an individual, whatnot. So up here, there's an example of using age. So you can take a difference between two dates to get a value of age, or you can take a date of birth to get a value of age. In this example up here, they use the round down function with the dateDiff function in order to get the age. The reason why you want to round down, again, if you look at documentation, is that it actually cut off some of the number that's not needed. Oh, well, I guess if you require it, then it's different, but it's 1 decimal place. It might be enough for you as far as the level of decimal places, but I guess we could try that real quick here. All right, so let me explain a little bit. When we go into this age, calculating the age, so round down is a function that is going to round down the. It's going to have 1 decimal place for as the final output. Let's just make it a lot more simple with this here. All right, so dateDiff, taking the date of birth, and you're asking maybe where's this date of birth coming from? This is the variable that is available to us because this was added to the instrument. Again, you would have a date of birth or some other question that takes in a date value, like this here. This DOB value, as you can see, it doesn't have the bracket, and if you're going to use a variable in your instrument, you have to append and prepend with brackets here, and in order for it to work properly. In this instance, you can use the today, meaning the very instance of today. Today's value could be Wednesday, the 6th, 2016, and what this is saying is in year. So that's the output that you want. Okay, so we save that. And go back and test. We always want to test, right? All right, anyways, we add, let's just say for, okay, so we see that we get an output of 37, and obviously we check the view calculation that that output's there. So that the reason why we didn't do the round down is we only want 1 decimal point. So let's go ahead and see that in action real quick. We have to modify, and then go back. You know, we can do a round down or just a round. We want, let's just say we want 2 decimal places. Again, the documentation is here, so you can do the round down, or you just do the round and give it decimal places. Alright, so round, decimal places 2, save. That warning is about the data quality rule that I'll talk about in a second here. So, okay, we always want to test. Click on Add New Record to just test real quick. Alright, so I think we did 78, 12. See that? 37.99. And so, you know, maybe it makes sense for you to do the round down to make it proper. No one has 37.99 as an age. So round down might be more appropriate, but just for demonstration purposes, you can use various functions to make it work for you. So the next step is we're going to try to do or demonstrate branching logic within calculated fields. It's a niche usage, but I think sometimes you might find it useful for certain projects that requires this, you know, I guess very niche way of using it. But again, let's just work with it for a second here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and modify the instrument. You can just, this is a shortcut for modifying the instrument here. You don't have to go into this project setup and online designer, all that. So let's go down to the test sum again, and we're going to make it more appropriate. We're going to name it, let's just do true or false. Okay, so what we're doing is I'm just trying to set it up in a way that I can branch off of it. Let's just say we want to branch off of this value if it's true or false. And we can define true or false by a 1 or 0 or 1 or 100, whatever it is for true. Let's just make it 100. And then false is 0 or not a number. So first of all, we have to get the value, right? So let's do a calculate field real quick. What do we want to use? Let's just say we're going to use an if statement. Again, this is available to you, and it's in the documentation. Let's just say if the value of an age is greater than 30, then it's true, and so we want that value to be 100. And if it's not, then it's false. We can use 0 or nan, which is not a number. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do an if statement. If, let's go ahead and close that. If age, again we have to use the brackets. If age is greater than 30, then show 100. If not, then show 0. So a little interesting about calculation is that you can't output text. Okay, so that's just the rule of calculated fields. That's just requirements and constraints. You can read all about the rules, constraints, and capabilities of calculated fields via all these QA questions. Again, if you're going to use calculated fields, you want to be able to know its capabilities and requirements and constraints in order to use it properly. So definitely read the FAQ. But again, let's go switch back to our true-false flag. Basically, we're using this as a flag so that we can do branching logic with it. So again, the calculation is that if age is greater than 30, show a 100. If it's not, then show a 0. I mean, you can get a lot more complex as far as calculate fields than this, but we're just showing you in a very simple usage. But you know, very very realistic usage sometime here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that. We always wanted to test. Click on Add New Record to test. So let's see if we can get an age greater than 30. So 78 works, right? All right, so 37. You see the output is 100. So this label basically is true. So now we can branch off of it. So if it's 100, if it shows 100, we can say true, or whatever your branching logic would be, right? So you know, depending on your usage, you can add a new field here with a picture or something. I'm going to add something here real quick. Now this works. Let's show the RAM crest. All right, so let's. I'm going to do inline image. How do you like that? It's nice and very VCU. All right, so basically, if it's true, it's going to show this. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm preparing my field. So technically, right now it's always showing. So because I haven't added any branching logic to it. So once I add the branching logic to this field here, and its dependent is on this true false true false variable here. All right, so let's branch on that. All right, so I'm going to just do the drag and drop. Okay. So it automatically gives you the proper syntax for putting a number. So we're just saying if it's equal to 100, then it's true. And so go ahead and show this this field here, this field that includes a picture that's in line, the RAM crest. All right, so let's see how it works. Let's see if it displays properly here. Add new record. Let's test it by saying that it's not 30. That's good because it's outputting 0, so it shouldn't show. See what happens when we do it when we change this value to something else here. 69. There we go. So maybe it it makes sense after you kind of practice and try a couple of these branching logic style of doing this. It's not dynamic in a sense, but it's pretty good. It's pretty close enough, I guess, depending on your usage or requirements. But it could be useful. Again, it's fairly niche, but I think it's useful for some people. So so that's pretty much the branching logic for calculate fields, or utilizing calculate fields in conjunction with branching logic. Again, could be helpful, maybe not. So our third A third item that I want to talk about is correcting calculated fields values, basically. So, you know, this age and this BMI and this true false value. Um, the user saves the data, like if they go down here and they save, so that's fine. So what happens is that it's stale once the data changes. So let's just say if you require the or if you used it today, it would always change, right? Because today changes over time. So the output would be different than it was previously for today. Um, so in order to fix all the time points, or I mean, I'm sorry, all the calculated fields values and have it up to date and properly saved, you can use the data quality module to fix up all the fields, all the values for those fields, the calculated fields. So if you click on data quality, the last one says row H, incorrect values for calculated fields. I mean, not really, not really incorrect values per se. It was previously correct, right? But we want to update all the values for calculated fields. This is only for like I guess normal data entry. If you're using the API to import data, the calculated fields are automatically being calculated or updated as it is imported into the project. So let's go ahead and just execute this here. So it says there's 13 calculated fields that I can look at. And so you have this big button up here that says fix calcs now. Um, so again, the values are not there. It should be 5.1 as you can see. All right, so now you view it, there's nothing there, which means all the calculated fields are fixed. They are up to date now. That's pretty much it for data quality as far as fixing the calculated fields. All right, so thanks for tuning in to us to this video here, and again we have weekly tutorials, training episodes. So look forward to the next one, and we'll post the information on our research portal. If you just click on REDCap training topics, you should be able to get to the latest information here. So that's it. Again, thank you.